Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma Economics YouTube class. We had already seen that industrial policy of 1956 having 20 points, and we have discussed 7 points in the first part. And now we continuing the industrial policy of 1956 in a more detailed way. In this video class, we will examine that which are the industries which are taken into consideration exclusively under Government of India, creating a central government monopoly. It means monopoly of private sector enterprising would certainly end by the implementation of 1956 industrial policy. So, eighth point of 20-point program, 20 point of industrial policy of 1956, we find that in the eighth point, Government of India declared that in the first category of industries, there will be 16 industries in the first category, which is termed in the industrial policy of 1956 as Schedule A. Under Schedule A, it is exclusively central government monopoly, and industry, 16 industries are listed in Schedule A. First is arms and ammunitions and allied items of defense. Second is atomic energy. Third is iron and steel. Look here, there is deviations of the category from 1948 to 1956. Basic change, a structural change in the selection of industry in the first category, keeping in the mind that the high progressive rate of industrialization is possible under new category, that number 2, atomic energy, number 3, iron and steel industry, number 4, heavy castings and forging of iron and steel, number 5, heavy plants and machinery. I have given a star to show in the last that what other things consist in that category, to make it understand this point. Heavy plants and machinery. 6th is heavy electrical plants, including large hydraulic, and steam turbines. Number 7, coal and lignite. Number 8, mineral oils. Number 9, mining of iron ore, manganese ore, chrome ore, gypsum, sulfur, gold and diamond. Number 10, mining and processing of copper, lead, zinc, tin, molybdenum and wolfram. Number 11, mineral specified in the Atomic Energy Control of Production and Use Order 1953. These are the 11. And next 12 to 16 you will see just now. So, eighth point of 20 point 1956 industrial policy tells about the 16 industry which are taken to consideration under purely state owned. There is no interference by the private enterprise in future, and therefore the 12th item is airport, 13th item railway transport, 14th item shipbuilding, 15th item telephone and telephone cable, telegraph and wireless apparatus, excluding radio receiving sets. Number 16, generation and distribution of electricity. And these are the 16 industry in Schedule A notified by the Government of India under policy resolutions of 1956, and these 16 industries are purely under central government monopoly. And fifth point where I have put a sterling mark to extend it for PT question. So complete this in your point. A heavy plant and machinery, that is written, but its extension is heavy plant and machinery required for iron and steel production, for mining, for machine tools manufacture, and for such basic industries as may be specified by the central government. So you just extend there and the fifth point, adding these few lines there. So now the section Schedule A is complete, and now we are proceeding towards its 20-point program, which takes into consideration 20-point program. 8th point is completed. Now we are coming to the 9th point of 20-point program. In the 9th point, industry in the second category will be those listed in Schedule B with a view to accelerating their future development. The state will increasingly establish new undertaking in this industry. At the same time, private enterprise will also have the opportunity to develop in this field, either on its own or with the state participation. And therefore, 9th point will include Schedule B, and under Schedule B, Government of India has included 12 industries which are just mentioned. Ninth point of 20-point 1956 industrial policy is related to industry which are categorized under Schedule B. In Schedule B, 12 industries are included. Number 1, all other minerals except minor minerals as defined in Section 3 of the Mineral Concession Rules 1949. Number 2, aluminium and other non-ferrous metals not included in Schedule A. Number 3, machine tools. Number 4, ferroalloys and tools steels. Number 5, basic and intermediate products required by chemical industry such as the manufacture of drugs, dye stuffs, and plastic. And these are the 5 of 12 in Schedule B. And the 6th you will see the 6th industry will be just shown there. In the 9th point of 20-point industrial policy of 1956, we find that 6th item is antibiotic and other essential drugs. 7 is fertilizer industry. 8 is synthetic rubber industry. 9 is carbonization of coal. 10 is chemical pulp. 11 is road transport. 12 is sea transport. In this category, Schedule B, Government of India notified 12 industries, and which are most important industry after the first Schedule A. In Schedule A, those important industries were under central government monopoly. And in this category, this is also under the state-owned enterprises. But it is said that if private enterprises are willing to cooperate, willing to supplement the efforts of the government of India, efforts of the state government, then this private sector may be given some supplementary role in this category, section Schedule B, 12 industries. And then the 20-point program, 20 point of 1956 industrial policy, we are now completing the ninth point, and then we have 10th point, and we all know that there are 3 categories and there are 3 classifications. So under 2 classifications we have seen Schedule A and Schedule B. Then in the 10th point we will observe that now under 20-point industrial policy of 1956, the 10th point states that all the industry will fall in the 3rd category. All the remaining industries we have mentioned in Schedule A and Schedule B, first category, second category. Now in the 3rd category, all the remaining industry will fall in the 3rd category, and it is expected that their development will be undertaken ordinarily through the initiative and enterprise of private sector, though it will be open to the state to start any industry even in this category. So it is clearly mentioned that these categories, A, category B, Schedule A, Schedule B, and the remaining Schedule C, all these are not like a watertight compartment division. There is no sharp line of distinction in between A and B and B and C. Everywhere public enterprise Government of India remains as a supreme power, and wherever they need, even this last category which is left for the initiative enterprise, the private sector, if the government, central government decides that particular any industry is to be taken by the government in the interest of the welfare of the people, then it will be taken by the government. And in this 10th point, Government of India mentioned time and again that 5-year plans will be the prime mover of the all industrialization, and therefore we will follow whatever the instructions given by 5-year plans. It is also stated that there are many measures in which fiscal measures are very important, so government will take into consideration fiscal measures to help grow this section category 3, third category. And we know that fiscal measures means taxation, rebate, tax holiday, subsidy, bounty given by the government, allotment of the land free of cost, water, electricity at subsidized rate. So there are many things which will be done through the fiscal measures in this category. Then government clearly indicates the third category will not starve due to the lack of financial availability, and therefore Government of India decides that there will be participation of central government or even the state government in the equity participation, buying of the equity shares of the private enterprises or the any cooperative, industrial cooperative, they will be helped in that way. Again, it is also decided that debenture, that means borrowing, debentures will be floated for the purpose of this private sector industry to help them. It is focused that industrial cooperatives and agricultural cooperatives or enterprises are to be developed, they will be helped along with the private sector enterprises. This is the 10th point of 20-point industrial policy of 1956. 11th point is related to the condition of industrial undertakings in private sector, that social and economic policy of a state, and will subject to control and regulation in terms of Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951 and other relevant legislation. Government of India, however, recognized that it would be in general be desirable to allow such undertakings to develop with as much freedom as possible, consistent with the targets and objectives of the national plan. When there exist in the same industry both privately and publicly owned units, it will continue to be the policy of the state to give fair and non-discriminatory treatment to both of them. So this is known as 11th point of 20-point industrial policy of 1956 that you see. Eleventh point of 20-point of 1956 industrial policy is related to third category, and it is said that all industrial undertakings in the private sector will be subject to the control and regulation in terms of the Industrial Development and Regulation Act and other legislations. Much freedom to private sector given to obtain targets and objectives of national plan. A state will follow fair and non-discriminatory treatment to both private sector enterprise and public sector enterprise. Number 12 point of 20-point industrial policy of 1956 resolutions. 12 point states that there is no division of categories in watertight compartments. Inevitably, there will not only be an area of overlapping, that who will come first, this area related to private sector, this is also under public sector overlapping, but also a great deal of, the term very important, great deal of dovetailing between industry in the private and public sectors. It will be open to a start. Any industry in the third category by the government in the national interest and in the welfare of the people. So it proves that central government or state government, wherever its area, private sector, it cannot be a monopolistic enterprise anywhere in India. And this would have a far-reaching effect in coming years regarding the regional disparities, regarding the concentration of economic activities in few hands, and there is inequalities of income distribution. Many things will emerge if these are not controlled. It was stated in the 12th point of 20-point 1956 Industrial Policy Resolution that overlapping of industry under public sector and private sector in the same category, and dovetailing. You can see several dove, and dovetailing means pushing left, pushing right, so that they will have access to their food, and you can see. So dovetailing condition and overlapping of industry may emerge in the third category. And in that case, it is the supreme authority that the central government or where a state government, they can interfere, they can establish any industry of category third and in the interest of nation and welfare of the people. So this is related to the second points of 20 points industrial policy of 1956. The 13th point is